Hey guys, Duck and Doge coming at you with another video. I wanted to touch on
God,
something
man,
that
the
I'm not
jump
seeing
on
a lot
this
of content
AK
out there
is
for.
fucking
The Dark
awful.
Zone Rank 50 Safe House vendors, what they contain in each
Especially since
zone,
AKs are
2,
known for their
3,
accuracy
4,
and
and
less
5,
recoil.
where they are located, and then just a brief snapshot of what you're seeing there, and then some of the crafting
You have a
once
74 or
I did get
47?
those schematics. So, hope
47.
you enjoy the video, and if you do, like, comment, or subscribe.
Why is the
Thanks.
74 better?
Alright, so here we are. We are at the first vendor. It's the Dark Zone Gear vendor. This is in DZ02. I'll show you a map of the safe houses here at the end of the video so you can see the locations for each, but you can see them pretty easily if you pull up your mini-map. These are all gear related crafting items. So, you know, firearm backpack, firearm holster, stamina backpack, stamina, etc. It's pretty much all of them, as well as one piece of gear that matches those sets as well. So there you go. You can kind of see the comparisons. In this particular instance, I went ahead and bought all of them because why not? Now, one thing I did notice on these, it looks like there are level 31 pieces of gear that can be purchased from the recipes. I am assuming that these refresh on restock. At the particular time of this video, it was 94 hours left on the restock. So I think this is a once a week rollover thing, so you will have to go back and check. My Dark Zone funds, I believe when I started this, was 417k. By the time I finish this, you'll see at the end here, I was somewhere around 200,000. So here we are at the Dark Zone weapons. This is in DZ03. And this week I didn't see anything that I needed, but that's not necessarily something that you might not need. It just so happens that I had weapons like the Midas, for example, that was a little bit better SMG than what was offered here, the converted SMG 9A2, as well as any of the blueprints. But you'll see them as I start to scroll down through here. You might see some level 31 crafting recipes in here in the future, and those might be worth picking up. I will probably do so as well. I think I still have a substantial amount of money left over after hitting 50. If you're going to grind in the Dark Zone to 50, you are probably going to have an equally substantial amount of money. So don't fret, you will be able to afford all of these items. You can notice the crafting resources there on the right that are required for each of these as well. Pretty hefty requirement to get those done. So that was what I was on the weapons vendor. Again, I didn't purchase anything there. Here we are, DZ04. Now, as I roll into this one, I believe this is gear mods. And you'll see it load up here in just a second. If I find my way around the wall. Cool. So, gear mod vendor. This one I didn't necessarily need, but I went ahead and bought all 4 of these because you're going to want them. Now those were all power level 30. I didn't see any level 31s in there. Again, there might be a chance for the level 30 or item level 31s to spawn in there. And if those do spawn, I will of course pick those up as well. So here we are, DZ04. You can kind of see the map here. It's a pretty north-south progression to get from one safe zone to the other. There wasn't a lot of mobs in between there, so fighting to get to each of these wasn't really a challenge. The DZ06 safe house, if you didn't know, it is a Phoenix credit only vendor, so no Dark Zone funds are spent up there, though they do offer some really good weapons. So here we go. We are rolling up on the Dark Zone weapon mod vendor. And these get very specific, so they only offer 4 this week, which was a little bit disappointing. Some of these are the reflex sight, you see that. I think, purchase all of these just because I'm trying to round out the set. But again, the crafting cost for these was really hefty. I grinded from to Dark Zone 50, and if you look at my div tech right there, I have 18 total of the high-end div tech. Those are not something that you can craft the lower end materials up into the higher end div tech ones. So unfortunately, you just have to find those while you're in the Dark Zone. Now there are some locations that appear to have div tech spawning more frequently than just in the wild. And if you do run across those, you should take the opportunity to loot them because you are going to need them. So I think we're going to forward over to the crafting now, where I'll show you a little bit of what I was seeing, what I made, and then I think a few of the results on that. So let's take a look at that now. All right, so here we are. We're at the crafting station, pulling up the blueprints. You can see all the new ones that were just unlocked. So here's where I initially noticed, okay, there's a big difference. Firearms mask is 431 top in comparison to the other ones. So I was a little bit thrown off. Then I started scrolling down, and there you go, power level 31 on the left, sitting right there at the bottom. So that kind of gives you some perspective. This is the same item level that you will typically see from the level 31 and level 32 Dark Zone mobs. That's not to say that right now they are currently worth being farmed. Seems the time to kill seems to be significantly greater than the reward for killing those particular mobs. So I know there's some other farming methods that are out there. Some people might disagree if you have a 4-man group, but these mobs hit hard. They have high health. They're not typically worth farming. So here you go. Firearms holster, your stamina holster. Kind of going through each of them. I was also doing some comparisons here to the gear that I had. I didn't have everything quite high end on my character, so I was kind of comparing the stats and what I might have in relationship to what I might get. So you're getting a little bit of that too. Yeah, knee pads again. I noticed there's a level 31 in comparison to the ones I'm currently using. The issue I was running into is that so I'm bottlenecked on the division tech. I think they really need to work on significantly either increasing that drop, the risk reward for being in there at 50 levels to come out with 18 div tech and be able to craft 6 total items when you can go out to these challenge modes and do the challenge modes daily and farm efficiently and get your high-end gear. It doesn't quite seem like the reward is there yet. That's not to say that I was displeased with the experience. I certainly enjoyed the you know, sometimes adrenaline rush of a player rolling up on you while you were trying to extract gear or worried about who was going to be friend or foe. Some really unique experiences out there. I think there could be more experiences with the Dark Zone, but we'll talk more about the review of the game and things that I think in and out could be better, or things that they do really well. So there you go. Yeah, that's pretty much the crafting. Here is a map of the safe houses where each of those is located. DZ02, 03, 04, 05. That's gear, weapons, gear mods, and weapon mods in that order. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to get back to you, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace. I'ma try it out. Okay.